Hi, and welcome to Enlightenment TV. I wanted to do this video since I don't know when, and I want to use it to touch on those two different topics at the same time, which was me meeting Odin and I know how it sounds. But if you didn't meet him, you will of course think that what you think now. But if you did meet him, you will call it this way, because there's no other way of calling it. So I didn't even understand it back then when I met him, this is what it means. But I understand now, on the latest now as I'm saying this. I could have understood it already back then, but I needed another three proofs to finally understand it and being able to say this. Okay, so dreams foretell the future. Okay, why did I say this? Because it's the truth, and this is how I came there. 2-3 months ago, let me see, how was it? Yeah, so when my wife and the kids were still with me in Germany, I remember the day. This was my last deal when with my gym equipment stuff. This was my last and one of the best deals. I bought a big exercising station, and it was the third or fourth time. It was the same thing with my car and many other things. I was always the second guy. And then I call the people up and I say, okay, I want to pick this stuff up. And then they say, yeah, there's another guy in front of you, so he will pick it up already. But if he doesn't, I'll call you up. And then I put the phone down. I just like, yeah, I'm the guy who's gonna get it, because this happened so many times, whatever. So I remember I was having a nap with my family. We all had a nap. We all were just out. It was around 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever. And then in the dream, I'm just walking. It was kind of like an abandoned ghetto style, kind of whatever, those huge blocks and whatever, and it was kind of all dead and whatever. And then we walk around a corner, around a wall or something, doesn't even matter. And then there is a playground kind of thing. And then we just walk around. It's all abandoned. It's all kind of broken and whatever. I guess that refers to the age of this exercising station. It must be like around 30 years of age. So this was really hardcore German quality, like super thick, the metal, and this was the greatest station that I've ever seen, construction-wise and everything. I'll be copying these, and I'll be selling these at some point. And then I'm just like walking on this playground, and then I just like touch something, and I just like, hey, this looks like the training station, And then the dream stops. I wake up, and the first thing I see is like, okay, then it means, what I know it means. I will get the call, and I will get the station. Within the same minute, I get the call. Probably even the call what woke me up and what ended the dream, I don't know. But it was within this minute, maximum within the next 3 minutes after me waking up. I get the call of the guy, and he says, yeah, you can have the station. There was literally no delay from the dream world to this world. Literally, there was no delay. So that was the first time I started thinking, okay, dreams foretell the future. Because it was ridiculous. I knew exactly it was the station. The dream was referring to the station. Next time, the same thing happened. We had three tries. I was going 3 times to Amsterdam before my family finally could leave Germany. First time I made a small mistake. I didn't have a Rona test because whatever, go back home. Second time, which I didn't know by laws of the Netherlands, if someone travels alone with the children, they need they need a written permission of the other party, of the other parent, that it's not some, you know, some kidnapping kind of escape and whatever and whatever. And this was another crazy thing what I learned about the Matrix, that was exactly what was so suspicious, because we were leaving this all the time and this kind of fleeing and running away. This is how it felt all the time back then, because I wanted to leave Germany like badly. I want them to leave Germany because like wearing masks and whatever, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to give this kind of stuff to my children, like this complete insane crap. So that's why I made everything. And then, yeah, so then they stopped my wife and whatever, and then they just, you know, yeah, you know the law, blah blah. And I was already back in the car, but I was still waiting, and then, yeah, turns out, bam, she cannot fly. Second time. This was all like in a month's time or whatever. And yeah, the first time I have to sue the company still. They just kept the cash without rebooking, even though rebooking via Singapore Airlines would be for free. But then last minute, just kept the cash. So crazy. Okay, the third time it worked out. Before the second time, I think it was the night before the second time, before we went the second time, I had a dream, and I knew it was referring to this gym equipment too, because this gym equipment, the way I always do it, like when I go somewhere, I would, on the way back, I would get something so that so I don't go empty, and then I can do some cash with it, you know. And it was really nice, the way it's called, hip pendulum. I don't know how it's in English. So I had a dream. It was something like, I was at a guy and he kind of felt a friend. I didn't know the guy, but I felt him to be a friend. And then it took us so long and whatever, and or was it at the end? I don't remember. Anyway, so was it this guy was a friend. Next scene is, we are kind of we're in a kind of park, and I felt it to be, this was the park in front of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And in this park we were like running around like kids, and we were just playing this tagging, how it's called, packen in German, you know, with one kid away and then runs away and you touch the kid and then it's him, and then he has to chasing, tagging, whatever. And we were running away from cops. The cops were running around. They're like soldiers, kind of like troops controlling stuff and whatever, like cops, like soldiers. But still, it was a child's play. Like they weren't really like threatening or anything. They would just, as I say, it was like child's play. Next scene again, we're back at this guy's house, and then I think then the scene came, like we were happy we finally could pack it. It was like done, whatever. It's kind of like this. And I knew that this dream was referring to this gym equipment and to this guy and this hip pendulum, that whatever. And as I say, it was one day before that, that second time. But then when we went home and like nothing happened, I didn't get the pendulum because I had my family with me. We had to go back. But then what happened from the second to the third time when they left, it was like 2 weeks later, or 1.5 weeks. So pretty much I rebooked the flight, bam, end of story. So what happened was then, I'm at the airport and I already see it from far. Like there are like 2 lanes, one for the buses and whatever, and there's a next lane next to it, and like in between there was the like the sidewalk with all the trolleys and whatever, and then I don't know, it's 10-15 meters, it's Amsterdam airport, if you know it, the departure then this is how it is. And then I'm standing in my car. It was departure 3, so I'm like at the very last spot of this departure lanes. It's like the very, very end. So these kind of like, yeah, police, military, soldier guys come out, and I think they even had a machine gun, you know. So they come out and walk towards the car, and like, you know, when you feel like this energy attachment kind of, when you know it kind of going into your direction, and they look at you, and then, you know, I mean, if they look at you in your car, then they're going towards your car, and they're going towards your car, so, you know, you feel, you know. So it's like those 10, 15 meters, and they walk towards my car, and I'm just like, what? Because I'm sitting and waiting for my wife to finally say go, everything's fine, because I say it's the third time, of course I have to wait another time before I leave. So they come to my car, and they're just like, yeah, do you speak English? I say, yeah, of course I speak English. What's the matter? So like, yeah, what are you doing here? I'm just like, yeah, I'm waiting for my wife, she's about to depart. So they were kind of not unfriendly, no, you know, they were not unfriendly or anything, but they were suspicious. That's how you can put it. And then I'm just like, yeah, I'm waiting for my wife, and she will depart as soon as I have the okay. Then I'm leaving. And then just like, yeah, okay, you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But like something, I'm just like, hey, then why do you ask if I don't have to answer? Just like, you know, but I said like super friendly and like whatever, but it was kind of weird. That's what he put the question like this, and I was just like, you know what, like, you know, nobody likes cops, right? Nobody likes to be questioned by cops and whatever and whatever. Two guys, one has a machine gun, you know, it's kind of like not a fun situation, and of course you feel super pressurized and so on. Like cops, nobody likes cops. But I say they were friendly men, like they were friendly, no big deal. And but still they start pressurizing. They just like, why is your car so full? Because it was full with stuff. It was some stuff from the kids, whatever. And the way we did it, we had to pack there at the airport because we couldn't scale the things, and there was a scale on the airport, so we kind of went there semi-packed, and then we would leave the least important items out and like, you know, scale it there and then go back and whatever and whatever. So that's what was also happening the second time. We went there semi-packed, and then I had to pack at the airport. It was all in a super hurry. Then we was almost like too late for this and that and whatever. But that's why we were in a hurry and this and that, and that's why it's reflected back from the Matrix into the Matrix. That's why my wife looked so suspicious, because, you know, the packing was still and blah blah. It was kind of like an escape, and then they just nailed her, and then, you know, had to go third attempt. So I explained to him, yeah, my kids and this and that and whatever, so that's why it's so full. And then they say, yeah, I've seen your car here standing since hours and whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, that's because I helped them. I carried all the luggage in and whatever, and I was talking about the papers with those people and whatever, and the 3 kids, so whatever, and I said goodbye and whatever, like this. I explained them everything. It's like, okay, but you have to leave soon. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm leaving as soon as whatever, and I gave them my passport in between. They just checked it. And as I'm talking to them, my wife calls and says, yeah, okay, everything's fine, blah blah. I just, yeah, okay, finally you call, blah blah. The cops, I have to be leaving, you know. It's like whatever. And then I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm leaving now. Getting out of the car, they gave me the passport back. I said thank you, and then I left. Okay, I'm driving. Then I'm going to this place. This place was at the border of Germany, Holland, like close by. I go there, pick up the gym equipment. It was really a fight. Like, it took us, I don't know, half an hour to 45 minutes to an hour to get this thing apart, and like, it was a Lego sort of Tetris thing, in out, this in out, because it was so big, the thing, and it just barely fit into the car. It was really a fight. And I had actually 2 things, a back, like a hyper extension, and this hip pendulum. But the other thing was small, so no problem. But anyway, it was so big, and I had to move my seat forward, and like, I had to the steering wheel, there was so little space, and I was just like super squeezed and whatever and whatever. So shortly before I arrived to the second place for the hyperextension, I'm just like, I'm driving on the highway and I'm just like, oh no, not the cops, and I see cops. So I slowed down and let them pass. Okay, they're gone, I am just slower. 5 minutes later, I'm just like, oh shit, the cops again. And the cops just driving in front of me, and the cops, you know, take the same turn as I do. They go to the same place. Then from the highway, the turn into, like, the turn off, I don't know how to turn away from the highway, going to the city. They just stop. They switch on the sign. It was a big, big car. Turn on the sign, please follow me. And I didn't have my driver's license. This was the other thing. I lost the card, and I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it. I still don't have it, whatever. So I have a driver's license, but I just don't have the card. So then they stopped me. I'm full with this shit, and like it was not secured, nothing, and whatever, and I'm just like, oh, holy crap. I don't have my driver's license, because that's what you expect the first thing to happen, right? The guy comes out, super friendly. Like you see it, you feel it from the far, you know, like what's about to happen, like. So the cop comes to my car. And I was already about to say, like, hey, look, I don't have my driver's license, whatever, blah, blah. I was about to, you know, to be too honest that it's, you know, yeah. But then he started. He said, like, okay, look, blah, blah. So basically, he talked to me for a minute, and he just friendly reminded me that what I'm doing here isn't really safe, and I should be driving carefully, and he wishes me a safe trip. That's what it was. Just 1 minute, a friendly reminder, and no bullshit, no crap. He, as I say, he didn't even check my driver's license, nothing. I'm just like, okay, thank you, bye. I start my car, and as soon as I start my car, I'm just like, what? That's exactly what I was dreaming 2 weeks ago. You know, this was exactly the part of the dream. I was playing in the park with the cops / soldiers, and it was kind of like a feeling of playing. It was child's play. This is how it was. I felt like a child. It was like child's play. But still there were cops, you know, like the enemy and so on. And I'm just like, what? So this future was foretold 2 weeks ago in this way. You just have to read the language. And as I say, this part was referring to the cops, and it was friendly child's play and whatever and whatever and whatever. Then the rest of the trip continued, and it was a great day because, of course, I was super hyped. Because this was the third run, the first try, and it finally happened. You know, I finally got them out of Nazi Germany. No more mask bullshit, and then, you know, like, I was super happy. And okay, since the video is already too long, I'll split it up into how I met Odin in the next video. So yeah, guys, these are 2 dreams. One with whatever 1.5, 2 weeks delay has foretold the future, and the other one has foretold the future without any delay, instantly. So that's why I'll be now doing the third one, where it was already foretold another time, where my dream foretold the future. This is where I met Odin. I record it now. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.